Now, when you're president, age is just a number. Every morning at 5, John Quincy Adams, for an hour, swam naked in the Potomac. Teddy Roosevelt boxed with staffers. One right hook from a military aide left him partially blind. Ronald Reagan rode horseback at the ranch, cleared brush with the chainsaw. Clinton and Bush jogged around town in short shorts. When Joe Biden ran for president, he said he'd never stop running.
Some people are always in a hurry. They run when they could walk, race up steps when others take it slow. When Joe Biden's president, America is just going to have to keep up.
But Biden's the one having trouble keeping up. And behind the scenes, it's even worse than it looks. A bombshell Wall Street Journal report, 45 sources, Republican and Democrats, all people who've spent hours and hours inside behind closed doors with the president, say he's not the same person. His memory's slipping. He mumbles so much that people sitting right next to him have trouble hearing him. He relies on his note cards to make obvious points, pauses for extended periods, and sometimes closes his eyes for so long that people in the room wonder whether he tuned out. You couldn't be there and not feel uncomfortable, is what one insider told the Journal. The president moved so slowly around his cabinet room that sometimes it'd take 10 minutes just for a meeting to start. And when it did, Biden wouldn't even know what he was negotiating. Former Speaker Kevin McCarthy told the Journal he kept going back to old stuff and would be shocked when he'd be told, "No, Mr. President, we talked about that meetings ago. We're done with that." This report knocked Brett Baer's Argyle socks off this morning. Let's see how Biden's favorite show's taking it.
I've spent time with every House Speaker over the past 30 years, and Joe Biden, it's just not close. If you want to talk about international affairs, if you want to talk about how to get bipartisan legislation, Joe Biden is light years ahead of all of them.
But it's not just the Journal. Time magazine interviewed Biden and said Father Time's caught up to him.
President Biden brushing off any concerns about his age. How did he seem to you?
He appears very much as he appears on TV. He is older than when he started in office. It's visible if you just look side by side on the tape.
Time magazine spent a half an hour with the president. They say his stiff gait, muffled voice, and fitful syntax strike a contrast with the intense, loquacious figure who served as senator and vice president. When Time magazine asked him whether he could still do the job, Biden challenged the reporter to a fight, saying, "I can do it better than anybody you know. You're looking at me. I can take you too." Biden flew to France this morning for the D-Day anniversary and called a lid before he got off the plane. If you're undecided, this weighs on you. Watch what happens when NPR sat down with swing voters.
Let's start with President Biden. For the first word or phrase that comes to mind when you hear President Biden. Sherilyn, what's yours?
Struggling.
Asa?
Concerned.
Okay. Rob?
Senile.
Bob?
Patriotic.
Nakaya?
I was going to say senile too.
Eugene?
Old.
Those are the adjectives of a campaign that loses in a landslide. Democrats used to whisper about Biden. Now they're dropping F-bombs.
I can't say it enough. I said it many times. I would vote for his head in a jar of blue liquid over Donald Trump. But that doesn't mean that I'm not. First of all, I think it's a moot point at this point. He's going to lose.
Who, Biden?
Yes.
After Trump's conviction, Biden actually went down 2 points in the polls. The verdict backfired so badly that the campaign hasn't aired a single ad calling Trump a convicted felon. They're running this sorry ad instead. Watch.
It doesn't make big headlines. There's no scandal, no conflict. So you probably haven't heard about the Biden administration's work to lower costs. If you don't know about it, join the club. It's not what the news is covering these days.
Womp, womp. If that doesn't work, it's back to the original plan B. Sources tell Dana Perino that after the Wall Street Journal report, there are rumblings of replacing Biden on the top of the ticket with Kamala. Democrats are telling themselves that Kamala is their secret weapon this election. Let's see how Kamala is doing.
Are you aware that there is a strain of cannabis named after you, Kamala Kush? Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Seriously, for real.
I did not know that.
You didn't know it? They didn't even send you any?
No.
Have you ever been bitten by the president's dog?
No.
Who curses more, you or Joe Biden?
That's one of the national secrets.
Democrats are back to square one, exactly where they were a year ago. Biden's old, so it's time for Kamala. Maybe Joe should swim naked in the Potomac like Adams.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.